The Indian government is cracking down on non-governmental organizations who receive foreign funding. Greenpeace India is going to court to challenge the Indian government's decision to block its bank accounts. Greenpeace says it is a victim of government intimidation and paranoia. The government says Greenpeace has broken the rules, along with many others. India's Interior Ministry has canceled registrations of almost 9,000 foreign-funded NGOs for failing to file annual returns. The U.S.-based Ford Foundation was put on a security watch list just last month. Paranjoy Guha Takurta is a board member of the Greenpeace India Society, and he joins us live from New Delhi. And we appreciate your time. So what are the rules that the Indian government is alleging that you have broken?
You know, everything is rather vague. You know, the Ministry of Home Affairs seem to be nitpicking that particular NGOs haven't submitted their accounts on time. But in the case of Greenpeace, I think they are on very, very shaky ground. The courts have ruled against the Ministry of Home Affairs. And I think a big problem with the Ministry of Home Affairs is that they've got paranoid. They've got so paranoid, it's kind of reminiscent of the 70s when the then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi...
Those are pretty harsh accusations. Why do you say that?
Let me explain why.
Okay.
You've targeted a few NGOs and you've blocked even their Indian funding. The fact is, 60% of the money that Greenpeace receives in India is from ordinary citizens of India, not corporate entities, not government entities. And the government, as per the rules, as per the law of the land, has no right to block these funds, but they've gone ahead and done it. The courts will eventually, in my opinion, rule against the government. But this is an example of intimidation and harassment. Why? That's because Greenpeace and its supporters have been agitating against the establishment of a nuclear power plant in southern India, in Tamil Nadu, a place called Kudamkulam. Greenpeace India has been in the forefront of telling the government that, look, if you've got to mine coal, mine it in an ecologically friendly manner. Don't destroy virgin forests. Rehabilitate the ordinary peoples whose livelihoods are getting destroyed.
So you're saying that you think this is politically motivated
against government policies.
So are you saying you think that...
Absolutely.
Okay.
In the 1970s, the then Prime Minister of India, Indira Gandhi, you know, she saw this foreign hand with everything that went wrong in this country. I regret to say this, but there are some individuals in the present government who seem to be, looking at NGOs, including Greenpeace, as the reason why India's economy is not growing. I mean, which is really a lot of nonsense. But I believe that these kinds of actions do not, freedom of expression is a constitutional right of it's a fundamental right of every Indian citizen. I may disagree with the government's views, but you can't put me behind bars or harass me just because you disagree with me.
Let me ask you one more question. Have there been any negotiations with the government before it progressed this far?
No, there have been no negotiations of any kind. I mean, the Ministry of Home Affairs has acted in a completely unilateral manner. It stopped Priya Pillai from going outside the country and then had to backtrack when the court said that's not the way you should be doing it. It froze a particular bank account and then again the courts had to intervene to tell the government that's not what you should be doing. So the only recourse to redressal of grievances is by going to court. Greenpeace India has been paralyzed. Why? Because you've stopped all funding. Its employees are not being paid. Despite that, there are employees who are working with Greenpeace without pay. But it's clearly a very, very vindictive kind of attitude. As far as Ford Foundation is concerned, the government is unhappy because Ford Foundation has supported a particular NGO which is, worked in favor of the Muslim victims of the communal riots of Gujarat when Mr. Narendra Modi was...
Just to be clear, Mr. Takurta, those are your accusations. We have also reached out to the Indian government, obviously, as well, for a story like this, and I'm going to have to wrap it up now. But thank you very much, Paranjoy Guha Takurta with Greenpeace. Thank you.
Thank you.